Welcome back to Solomon's Porch with your host, Jason.
And Shawn.
And we are joined with a special guest, Mr. Kevin Donovan. How you doing, sir?
Good.
Awesome. Good to have you. On this special round of 5, we're going to be doing our top 2021 blessings.
All right.
And No Way Home did not make the
five
list.
2021.
Top 5 2021 blessings.
Yeah.
In 2021.
In 2021.
In 2021.
Is that, did I not say it clear? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm leaving. Yeah, man. So Kevin is joining us. We tried to give him a rundown on how we do this thing. So, sir, we will let you lead the way. And at the very end, I'm actually going to share a top 5 of Solomon's Porch podcast, which we haven't done like a blessings thing for that yet.
No.
So, yeah, man. So, Mr. Kevin, you want to lead us off with one of yours?
Yeah, I'll do the big hitter. So this year I've decided to run for school board. So did not plan on it in the beginning of the school year.
There you go.
Or 2021, we'll say.
Okay.
But it's a blessing in disguise, really.
Gotcha.
Right on.
I'm hoping it's a blessing for me as well. I hope next year I'll say it's a blessing. Kevin Donovan won. Made some good change.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, man.
No pressure.
Yeah, all right.
Everybody's counting on you for that blessing, man. Mr. Shawn.
All right. My daughter graduated high school and started college. So, It's not that it was unexpected, but, she had some changes that took place at the end of the school year. She thought she was going to go more career-oriented for a while, maybe take like a year off. But she ended up going to college instead, and I think it's been a really good move for her. It's been healthy, and she's really kind of blossomed. So
yeah, man.
Good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So my number 5 is I released my first written published material, Matthew Study Guide, or Study Guide of the Gospel of Matthew, however you want to say it. Yeah, I had been wanting to do it for years now. I mean, I think I had planned on doing it maybe 3 or 4 years. Mm-hmm. A buddy of mine released a book, and we chit-chatted on the phone for like 30 minutes, and I had it published that night. So it was a huge blessing. So it's kind of and now I actually got a friend of mine who wants to publish some material, and so I'm gonna help him be able to do that as well. And yeah, so if anybody's interested in publishing a book, hit me up. I'll help walk you through it, and I won't even charge you anything. It'll be for free. There you go. Yeah, man. Kevin, you got another one for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So the biggest, or one of the bigger blessings in disguise as well, is the whole COVID thing. So we were sent home after COVID hit, and we were home for a year. So we went back in March, I think. But before we left, every one of our employees were down each other's throat. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was bad. But over COVID, we had a break. We were away from each other. We came back, and now it's like, we're all brothers.
Nice.
So
wow.
biggest blessing. Definitely.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
It was insane.
You definitely don't normally hear that in regards to COVID. So yeah that's great.
Yeah.
In the job I was at, it was definitely not that.
it was worse. It was worse. Yeah. My number 4. I got a new / used vehicle. Yeah. May not sound like too big of a deal, except that I'd been without a personal vehicle for 10 years, something like that. So
that was a family vehicle.
Yeah. We only had just a family vehicle for the longest time. So having my own, personal transportation to get out, go do whatever, whenever, has been really quite a blessing. In fact, it was great. Just this past week, because my wife and she's a first grade teacher, and she was doing a party with the kids, and my daughter went to go take out some of the supplies and goodies and snacks and stuff, but she forgot a bag at home. And so my daughter's already in one major town over, and with my wife, and nobody'd be able to get the bag, and not enough time to be able to come home and back and forth. So I was able to just pick it up, take it out there. Sounds like a little thing, but it works.
Oh no, when you don't have a vehicle, I mean, having one.
Yeah. Well,
it's a life changer.
I'm able to go do all my doctor's visits without having to also then take my wife to work first and then come pick her up and all that other stuff.
There's got to be a lot of scheduling for one vehicle.
Yeah, there really is.
Absolutely.
So, it's been nice. It's been a great blessing.
Nice. Absolutely. My number 4, this might not seem big to most people, but me feeling called and seeing a spiritual gift as being a teacher, I actually am leading the adult discipleship program at our church, the Growth Track. And so, I'm responsible for finding other people who can eventually teach it. And it's kind of like something that I felt like I was called to do many years ago. I've seen other people do that type of ministry work and felt like I think that's where I kind of would be one day. And so kind of slowly shifting into that little by little has been great. Being able to teach and study and all that kind of stuff is it's what I really enjoy doing. And so I've been teaching Bible study at our house for years, so I've been doing that for a while. So, this is it's just it's a different venue in a different atmosphere, really. It's kind of the same thing. But, trying to find other leaders to step up and do the same, I think that's where it kind of shifts a little bit, because now it's trying to, finding and developing other leaders and stuff. So yeah, it's been a blessing, and I'm glad that God's been able to kind of use me in that area and to help me learn and grow as a teacher. So,
Right on.
Yeah, man. Kevin, you got another one for us?
Yeah. So at the end of 2020, my prayer was for God to put me in positions and to use me, really. And boy, did he. So 2021 was pretty busy. So with the same church, I was asked to be the church administrator, to help manage the budget.
Wow.
To join the board of directors at that church as well. So I said yes to that.
Wow.
And then I was asked, because I'm Eagle Scout, I was asked to be a Cub Scout leader. So to join that, take the kids on, Cub Scout trips and everything. So, that was another one. And then the school board, and then expanding my business that I own. It's been crazy, and I know that he's the reason.
Awesome.
Really. Absolutely.
So
Wow.
the prayer for 2022 is to keep sanity.
Yes. Yes.
That's the blessing next year from now. It's going to be, God kept me sane during all this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome,
Right
man.
on,
It's
right
good
on.
to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Mr. Shawn and Shawn?
All right, number 3. The ability to be able to play disc golf again. So, I after my surgery, I've played disc golf off and on since about 1989, so back when I was in middle school. And, the last time I kind of seriously was playing was the 20-aughts. And so,
What is 20 odds?
like 2006, 20.
Never heard that phrase
I don't know
before.
what
Aught
Okay.
is a 0.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so it was one of my goals that after having my triple bypass was to be able to get out and play disc golf again. But through my recovery process, I had gotten frozen shoulder, so I had very limited motion within my right arm, my throwing arm. Did a lot of therapy and stuff, and it progressively got better, but still not quite to where I could really play, and there weren't enough good days that I could get out and do that in terms of how I felt with my arm, lacking pain and that sort of thing. So this year, it like whammied, and all of a sudden, I don't still quite have full movement of the shoulder, so still working on that, and it shows in my game and my scores, but that's okay. But I'm still able to get out, and I'm able to throw, and I'm really able to kind of haul off with this arm and still be able to get going. So that's been tremendous to me, because it's the physical activity helps with a good mental perspective as well as the health, and so it's just paid off dividends. So it's been a great blessing.
Yeah, absolutely. My next one is my first disc golf tournament.
Flip flop, woof wah.
So I had my first tournament. It was fun. It was tiresome, and but it was a good experience. Shawn and I had some good bonding time on trying to figure out who can be have the highest score. We fought for the highest score. Shawn beat me out on it.
I did, and I got a nickname too. Yeah, Bob.
Bob.
Bob. Yeah. So on a scorecard, whoever does the worst on the last hole is the last person to tee off, and so it's referred to as back of the box. So if you're back of the box, you're the Bob.
Interesting.
So I was consistently Bob.
I was Bob a couple times.
You were.
Yeah.
I
was.
The couple I know is at least once.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't always Bob, but I was frequently the Bob. So
There you go.
anyway,
And it wasn't bobbing for apples.
No, there's no apples. The trees were like.
But
bare,
yeah, man. Also,
leaves
I
falling.
joined the
Yeah.
the PDGA.
No apples. I didn't
So,
even see any apples.
That was
out-
fun. I have an
trees
official
out there.
PDGA number. Where's that mute button at?
So it's like you're in the PGA.
No. I'm part of the association.
Oh, okay.
I'm part of the association, which means I pay money to have my name in a listing amongst thousands of other people.
And
But-
it's a lifetime number too. So
Yeah.
even if you don't pay your dues next year, that number stays with you. So
Yeah.
I got to show off my number because everybody thought I was really cool because I had a very low number compared to everybody else. Because during COVID, lots of people picked up disc golf.
Yes.
And so they all signed up and became PGA members. And so now they have these big numbers. And mine's a smaller number because I registered back in 2006.
Yeah. So you can put yours in your hand, right?
I definitely.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Yeah, man. So that was awesome, man.
Yeah. Anyway.
Kevin, next one, sir.
Yeah. So the big thing that we did personally early on is the Dave Ramsey plan.
Okay.
So that was for personal me, and I was able to pay cash for a car for the
Nice.
first time ever,
Right on.
which is insane.
Yeah.
And the transmission broke the next 2 weeks. So, yeah, not a big deal.
Emergency fund, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't know if that'll cover transmission.
No, they gave me my money back because of COVID.
Right.
They can't
Oh,
get
okay,
chips. Transmission was messed up, so
Wow.
I got to find a new car, but pay cash.
Cool deal,
All right,
man.
all right.
Big achievement.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
awesome.
It honestly really is.
Yeah.
I mean, some folks, it's just like it's a normal thing to always have a car payment. But yeah, to be able to have that debt freedness, it's huge.
It's
absolutely
life-changing.
huge.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, Shawn, you're next.
Yeah. What are we? Number 2. So, mental health. I've shared again on the show before that, I've struggled with depression. And so just this has been the year that I sought out a lot of counseling and really turned some major corners and came to a good place where I'm able to be able to move past things and it not just totally wreck me and bog me down. So mental
That's awesome.
health,
Yeah.
good mental health.
Absolutely. For us, and this is kind of a family thing, new house.
Yeah.
We sold our house of 10 years, and we initially, when we wanted to sell the house, we wanted to just get out of our mortgage. Like, let's just cut clean, don't owe anything. We don't really care about gaining money. And then the market went seller crazy. Yep. So anybody who was buying a house had a horrible time finding a house. We decided to sell a house and try to buy a house at the same time, and it worked out. Like,
Yeah.
it was almost a mere, like, it was almost like God was manipulating things to happen, so it worked out. Because of my number 1, it made the process very difficult, but it happened. My wife is in a much better mental space now because she's not stuck in a double wide, a mobile home that she felt like was, not what she wanted to be in for long term. And so we were able to buy.
Well, and it's not necessarily a knock on a double wide, but
No.
and it was also somewhat the area and stuff like that too.
Yeah, it was starting to, the area was getting a little bit worse, and just a lot of things we'd have to fix here, fix there, fix here, fix there, and you had to fix it because, it is what it is. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So that's been ours.
All right. You got one more for us?
Yeah, just health in general.
Yeah.
I've had COVID and lucky enough to be healthy and not have any issues, and
Right on.
so just very blessed.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So my big number 1, I don't remember when my last A1C was checked. It was probably, well, no, it's not that, I just don't really recall. It was probably March or April, and it was definitely over 10 point something. So for those of you that aren't familiar with A1Cs, that's horrendous.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
You
And
know-
A1C is a blood sugar level for a diabetic over the course of 3 months.
3 months average, right? And so it should be or the average person I think is somewhere around in the 5s, maybe 6. Yeah. Once you start getting above 6, then it's considered like pre-diabetes. For most diabetics, type 2 diabetics, they're trying to get you under the number 7. Ideally under 6, but definitely under 7. And so I went from a 10 point I don't remember, it was like 5 or 6 or something. It was stupid crazy high, down to a 7.4.
That's a
That's
lot.
good.
That's a lot, and it's some of it's just medication, some of it is the physical activity, as well as how I've been eating and stuff. So, but all that plays into that mental health as well, and being able to just put everything together. And so, it's just been a tremendous blessing to be able to feel good again.
Yeah.
Literally there were weeks I would just spend on the couch, misery, trying to sleep, trying to not deal with life. So, and that was a combination of A1C, mental health, and physical stuff. So, lots of praises for this year. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. My number one is new job.
Amen.
So I had to work third shift for 10 years. I was in the hospital pharmacy setting for 12 years. Graduated 2017 with my business degree and knocked on every single door in that hospital to try to get a job somewhere else, do something else. Every door was slammed or not answered.
Yeah.
And there was nowhere to go. Like, you can't move up in that department. It's just nothing to do.
Unless you become a pharmacist.
Yeah. Just happened. I saw a message in this men's group I had just joined. One of the men I hadn't even met yet had put in there, anybody looking for a job? And I had just got to the point in that. And I want to say last year, one of my blessings was I found contentment in my job. That was a blessing from 2020.
And it had been a prayer.
It had been, because
Yeah.
I've been praying that I would just be content where I was and not trying to do anything else. And then 2021, oh my goodness. But I hadn't even listed a lot of the other stuff. I just didn't have enough room. But the job was the big thing, because that was a huge source. And I won't say depression, because I feel like that's a way too heavy of a thing to say that I went through that. But there were a lot of nights where I was extremely...
It's a life stressor.
Yeah, a huge life stressor. And then I just got this new opportunity that opened up new doors, and huge blessing. Unbelievable schedule. Just everything about it, to me, was a huge step up, aside from working less than half the year. But aside from that, it's been a huge step up. So the new job has been incredible, and I'm learning a lot. Learning about how to fix stuff now. Like, I was never hands-on, so this job's, I'm learning on what things are and how they're repaired and fixed, and as a result of that, we got the studio.
And it's afforded you more financial freedoms as well,
Yep.
which has been great for you, because one of your passions has been to be able to bless others.
Yeah.
In some way that would require finances that you were always sort of held for with your prior job, and that this job has allowed you to be able to do. So, that is that desire that God's put in your heart to be able to serve others, and now you have that blessing to be able to go through with that too.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. So that's our personal ones.
Yeah.
I do want to share 5 from Solomon's Porch podcast. I asked the show, and the show answered me. So number 5 is I would say higher overall quality. As far as...
wait a minute, you mean it was worse than this?
It used to be worse than this.
No
very
way.
worse than
The
this.
quality
Yeah.
of the show or the quality of the actual podcast?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Number 4, we got a lot of website traction this year. A lot more than previous years.
Who does websites?
I don't know, but some people do.
Oh,
So, and
I do, because I don't do social media.
I don't know if that's traction from people trying to hack into the site. It could be, but well,
yeah.
I don't care. Number 3, most supporters at any given time. We've never had this many. We have officially 4 supporters of the show right now. We've never had that many at one time.
Yeah.
So we're grateful for that. The YouTube channel, we put a lot more content, a lot more stuff up there. I started Bible with Bordeaux. That's on there now. So, it's a lot more content, a lot more viewers, and the subscribers isn't growing as much as, ideally you would want it, whatever. But we do have a consistent listenership. So, and then number 1, we're sitting in it.
Yeah, new studio.
Years ago, we had a goal. It was a lofty goal of having a standalone studio that wasn't in a home. Because I didn't want it to be in my house or in Shawn's house.
temporarily set up in the kitchen
Yeah.
or wherever.
Exactly, and I had a bedroom in my old place where we had a studio set up, but I let my daughter have that room because she needed a room for herself, and then here at my house we had even less room than the old place, and we really didn't have anywhere to record in there at all. I don't think we ever recorded in there, did we?
No.
We didn't. We
No.
always we went to your house to
Yep.
record in your kitchen,
Yep.
and so then eventually, voila, the studio worked out.
Yep.
So hallelujah, praise God for that, and we could bring in studio guests and us not be completely cramped on top of each other. So yeah, man, those are the blessings for 2021. If you want to share with us some of yours, that'd be great. I think it's good. Actually, Kevin had told me whenever I was telling him about we're doing the segment, he said that he thinks that people should look back and reflect on what God has blessed you with, and it doesn't have to be things, but just think about in general things you can be grateful for. So that's it for this segment. We will be back soon. Make sure you stay tuned.